Yeah, absolutely.
I just want to make sure. Well, maybe you know. So.
Wife Melissa and their children, Gavin, Grayson, and yep, so I have.
Hey, I'm gonna go walk back to the corner and listen to you talk for like 2 seconds on Captain Birds' computer. I'll give you a signal. It'll look like this.
Okay. I'm not worried about that at all. So yeah, Grayson, Gavin, and Matt. Four. Yasmin, and then
Yasmin.
Yes. I was asking. I was like, "Hey, sir, is it Yasmin or Yasmin?" Cool. Hey, can you hear me? Check one. Hey. Yep. No, we're not using mic. Check, check. Hey, can you hear this? This is the only mic we're using. So, okay. One more again. I'm going to do the kind of turn off and get ready in about 30 seconds, so we'll see how it sounds then. Check, check. Hey, you got anything? This is... We're going to figure it out. At this time, please silence all electronic devices. Our ceremony will begin shortly. Thank you.
Let's take our hats off.
Okay. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, and the men and women of the 7th ASOS. We welcome you to the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron Change of Command Ceremony. I am Technical Sergeant Brian Winfield, your narrator for today's event. The Commander, 3rd Air Support Operations Group, Colonel Charles M. Juilliard, will be our presiding officer for today's ceremony. COVID-19 marked a surprise attack as viruses, bacteria, and disease have killed more human beings than any other force in history, including war. Plagues that date back as far as the Peloponnesian War in ancient Greece have ravaged human populations and changed the course of history. As we adapt to new norms established to flatten the curve and slow the spread of the coronavirus, we are writing the annals of history and witnessing firsthand how outbreaks shape our future. Harkening back to the plague, people are staying at home, social distancing, and adapting to this evolutionary force. With self-isolation measures confining many to their home offices, technology brings us together to celebrate and honor our military traditions. The Change of Command Ceremony is an American military tradition deeply rooted in history. It dates back to 3 July 1775, when General George Washington drew his sword under an elm tree in Cambridge, Massachusetts, to assume command of the Continental Army. During the American Revolution, military units carried distinctive flags designed to match the color of their uniforms and emblazoned with a motto selected by the commander. When soldiers followed their leader into battle, this flag provided a highly visible point around which members of the unit could rally during the pandemonium of battle. Because of its importance, the flag was used at the Continental Army's earliest change of command ceremonies. The organization's banner was exchanged in full view of all soldiers so that everyone could see the officer now entrusted to lead them into battle. The modern ceremony is principally symbolic, yet it still announces to all the authority of the incoming commander. Serving as the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron Commander since July 2018, Lt Col Nicholas Walker will move on to be Deputy Director, A3A5, 7th Air Force, Osan Air Base, Republic of Korea. Lt Col Michael Matt recently concluded a tour as the Director of Operations, 9th Air Support Operations Squadron, Fort Hood, Army Installation, Texas. Their service histories are outlined in your program. We would now like to take a moment to welcome the family and friends of the official party. Outgoing Commander Spouse Yasmin Walker. Their children Marcus, Lucas, and Alice Walker. Incoming Commander Spouse Melissa Matt. And their daughter Gracie. We would also like to welcome our wing leadership, distinguished guests attending virtually today, as well as all commanders, chiefs, first sergeants, and members of Fort Bliss, family and friends. Thank you all for participating in today's ceremony. The official party will arrive shortly, but before they do, I'll review the customs and courtesies for today's ceremony. This is considered an outdoor ceremony. Therefore, military members are to remain covered and render the appropriate military honors. Military protocol requires everyone to stand for the arrival of the official party, the national anthem, the medal presentation, and the formal change of command ceremony. Military members must stand at the position of attention and salute during the national anthem. Veterans may also salute, and civilian guests may join us by placing their right hand over their heart. At this time, please stand for the arrival of the official party, the playing of the national anthem, and we invite you to remain standing for the invocation delivered by Chaplain Mike White.
Present the commander. Sir, I present the command. Let us pray. O Lord, as you are the God who is with us and who seeks good purposes for us, I ask for your blessing upon this change of command ceremony today. This day I ask for your favor as the squadron undergoes change. Lord, we recognize that the burden of responsibility is placed upon commanders for the mission, for resources, and the welfare of airmen, civilians, and their families. Lord, I thank you for the two proven leaders who stand before us, who have been faithful in service to our nation and to the Air Force, Lt. Col Walker and Lt. Col Matt. For Lt. Col Walker, Lord, may he know your peace as his time of command comes to its completion. Lord, thank you for his calm and steady hand, the experience and the character he brought to leading this unit, and his ability to lead in a way that the members of this squadron were able to work with initiative and confidence, accomplishing the mission with excellence. Lord, may your peace be upon the Walker family, especially Lt. Col Walker's wife, Yasmin, and their children, Marcus, Lucas, and Alex. May the Walker family know blessing for the future and your grace and peace in their lives. Lord, I pray for Lt. Col Matt. I ask for your wisdom and peace and confidence to be upon him. May he guide the squadron to the preferred future with confidence and continue its tradition of excellence, relying on its leaders and personnel. And may your grace be upon Lt. Col Matt, O God. In all times, may he know he is never alone. He is surrounded by airmen and civilians and leaders dedicated to excellence. May your peace be upon Lt. Col Matt's wife, Melissa, and their children, Gavin, Grayson, and Gracie, as they establish new routines and life together as a family. Lord, may your grace empower the airmen, civilians, and families of the 7th ASOS to continue to be faithful in service to this nation. For this I pray. Amen.
Please be seated. Thank you, Chaplain White. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to introduce our presiding officer, Colonel Charles Juilliard, Commander, 3rd Air Support Operations Group.
Good morning to everybody, and welcome to a great day for the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron here at Fort Bliss. First of all, Chaplain White, thank you for those inspiring words. Let's just reflect on what a special day this is, and ask that you all keep the Walkers and the Matts in your thoughts and prayers as this transitional period passes. And then to thank those who helped put this great event together, and given the circumstances that we find ourselves in due to the coronavirus pandemic. So Captain Burns, Sergeant Oregon, Sergeant Regan, Sergeant Rivera, Sergeant Jackson, and Airman Rickett Heath, thank you so much for everything you did to put this together, given the circumstances, and to anyone else that I may have failed to mention. Also like to welcome any of the DVs that may be listening or watching live online. Thank you for being a part of this event with us, and to any of the squadron commanders, superintendents, chiefs, family, friends, spouses, and dependents, whether here or joining us online, welcome to this ceremony at the 7th. And then lastly, to the men and women of the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, this is who the ceremony is really for, so thank you for being here. So we look at the squadron change of command. It's a pivotal day. There's two sides to it. We're all happy and celebrating the successful squadron command for the outgoing commander, and somewhat somber that he's leaving. But at the same time, you're excited about the new commander and where he's going to take the squadron. Some anxiety exists about this change, but then we all find the resolve within ourselves to ensure the new commander's transition is successful. First of all, to you, Glock, it's been an impressive 2 years for you at the 7th, and I commend you on your success. You took the opportunity to lead and drive this squadron, knowing that it was a challenge, and you seized it and excelled in it. Foremost, you ensured 1st Armored Division and its supporting units, as well as numerous deployed commands and units, had the tactical air control parties, the best tactical air control party support they could get. and deliberately worked with your special warfare support to streamline processes and maximize efficiencies throughout the unit. You've cemented a strong relationship between the Army and Air Force here at Bliss. Additionally, you advocated for those in your unit, mentored and supported your fellow squadron commanders, and responded to the numerous downrange requests for personnel and equipment. Through it all, your leadership and command of this unit was never in doubt. Like your fellow commanders, you dealt with manning and resource limitations, found ways to get the mission done, took care of your airmen, and represented the best of the Air Force to your personnel and to our Army teammates. Most notably, you developed several programs that either lauded or were adopted throughout the wing's tactical air control party units, such as the Tactical Equipment Consolidation Process, spearheading an operational safety program, developing a local initial qualification training pipeline to compensate for shortfalls from the schoolhouse, and building a mission readiness verification course and culminating event to ensure proficiency for newly minted joint terminal attack controllers from day one. Through all this, you deployed nearly 50 personnel to multiple areas of responsibility while balancing support to several national level training and combat certification exercises, as well as immediate response force obligations. One of your greatest accomplishments was reestablishing a positive relationship with our Army partners. Most visibly shown in vehicle maintenance support, where your skills and persistence helped increase mission capability rates for our vehicles from single-digit percentages to over 80%. And I would be remiss if I didn't point out your efforts in working with the host wing, Holloman Air Force Base. Continuous engagement and inclusion with the leadership of those flying units were key to keeping a steady flow of local close air support, training aircraft, and making the Hustlers the most ready unit in the wing. You unfailingly stood up for your airmen while working with Holloman and Range Control to ensure processes were in place that facilitated safe engagements while maximizing training for both air crew and ground parties. I appreciate your patience in that matter, and I think you learned a lot from that experience. You've been an outstanding teammate to your peers, leader to your airmen, and commander in the 3rd Air Support Operations Group. I take pride in saying that you truly gave the completeness of your heart, soul, and mind to this challenging assignment. Your accomplishments while on command have been remarkable, and you can leave the 7th knowing that you have put it in a position to continue to achieve great things. I hope you beam with pride when you reflect on your command, knowing that I couldn't be prouder to have had you as one of the commanders in the group. And again, congratulations on a job very well done. But like all successful commanders, he has a secret weapon, and that secret weapon is his wife, Yasmin. So to her, I'd like to thank you for all your support you've provided to Nick during your time here, and all that you did for the squadron, whether it was holiday events, spouse luncheons, or hikes through the trails with members and dependents. All that you did was more critical than you know to his success. All the platitudes and great things we say about Nick today and that we bestow upon him are a direct result of all the behind-the-scenes support and encouragement he got from you and the kids. So although we part this day, please know that you will be missed by all of us. And Katina especially wants to thank you for all you did for the 7th, wishes you all the best, and appreciates all the support you provided him during his command. To the members of the 7th ASOS, your support for your commander was evident from the start. You flawlessly executed his vision and priorities and made this squadron great, and you should take pride in all that the 7th has accomplished these past 2 years. While he moves on, I trust that you will continue to achieve new heights under your new commander. So we wish the Walkers the best in their ensuing assignment to Korea. I fully expect the high standard you set for yourself in command block will serve you well there, and I look forward to hearing about your future successes. Please know that you and your family will be missed by the 3rd Air Support Operations Group, and we couldn't have asked for a better team to lead the men and women of the 7th. Now to the new commander, Lt Col Matt and his family. Welcome to Fort Bliss and the 7th ASOS. You joined the team from just up the road at Fort Hood, previously serving as the 9th Air Support Operations Squadron Director of Operations. The men and women of the 3rd Air Support Operations Group welcome you and your family into this new role and are here to help you succeed. To Melissa, welcome to the Air Force family at Fort Bliss. Please know that the members of the 7th as well as the 3rd will do everything we can to ensure you feel welcome and are woven in as an integral part of the team here. To Wong, your past performance has earned you the opportunity to command. It's a testament to your former supervisors and commanders who identified you as a future leader in this career field. You have high marks and ratings, including most recently being rated the #1 of 16 directors of operations within the 93rd Air Ground Operations Wing. You have a mix of experience and performance that demonstrate your readiness and suitability to command this unit. Group and wing leadership believe in your abilities and are anxious to see you excel in this endeavor. Squadron command, you will find, is one of the most demanding duties that we ask of you, but as Glock can probably attest, most likely one of the most rewarding ones of your career. The squadron you're inheriting is ready to execute your vision, and know that all here are vested in doing their very best to help you. So, in closing, I'd like to once again thank the Walkers for their service to the 7th and wish them well as they move on. And also congratulate the Matts on this opportunity and wish them the best as this new chapter unfolds. So again, it is a great day for the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, but also for the 3rd Air Support Operations Group and our United States Air Force. So thank you all, whether physically here or dialed in virtually, for being a part of our ceremony today. Thank you.
Thank you, Colonel Juilliard. Please stand for the presentation of the Meritorious Service Medal, 1st Oak Leaf Cluster, to Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas Walker. Attention to order. Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas M. Walker distinguished himself in performance of outstanding service to the United States as Commander, 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, Fort Bliss, Army Installation, Texas. During this period, Colonel Walker expertly organized, trained, and equipped 180 airmen while managing budgets in excess of $1.5 million. His leadership was paramount as the squadron supported the Wing's force provider model by providing and deploying 65 personnel to multiple areas of responsibility, ranging from the Republic of Korea to combat operations in Afghanistan. Moreover, Colonel Walker directed a deliberate approach to operations at the squadron. His vision was achieved by the development of the unit's formal training section, which led the combat mission readiness of over 62 special warfare airmen. He also enabled technical equipment consolidation by introducing a process to track $18 million in combat items. The unit process was lauded as best practice by the wing commander. Additionally, his supervision led to a non-technical vehicle authorization increase of over 600%. The work enabled unit maintenance personnel to increase the technical vehicle mission capability rate to over 80%, the highest in over 4 years. Lastly, Colonel Walker prepared a 31-person unit type code for immediate response force tasking, providing required forces and equipment 2 weeks early and meeting a Secretary of Defense top priority for joint forces. The singularly distinctive accomplishments of Colonel Walker reflect great credit upon himself and the United States Air Force. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, the Commander, 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas Walker.
I'd like to thank you all for being here today, whether you're here in person or whether joining us virtually. Your support and attendance means the world to me. First and foremost, my thanks to God for blessing me with the capability to love and lead. Second, thank you to my loving and supporting wife, Yasmin. You are my everything and make me a better man every single day. Because of you, I survived Squadron Command. You will forever be the commander-in-chief of my heart and soul. I love you, babe. Marcus, Lucas, and Alice, I wasn't home nearly enough, but I thank you for the sacrifice that you provided, and so did the men and women of the 7th ASOS. It's an honor to be your father. And I hope you took something from our experiences here at Fort Bliss that will propel you along your journeys in life. All those in attendance and watching over the internet, my family, Mom, thanks for teaching me to serve and love. Dad, thanks for teaching me the value of hard work and sacrifice. To my mother-in-law and father-in-law, thanks for teaching me devotion and caring, and for providing me the greatest blessing in my life, Yasmin. To my brothers, thanks for listening and for all the great jokes and laughs. I know you've been texting me jokes during the command because my phone's been buzzing. To my brothers-in-law and sisters-in-law, I love you all very much. To friends from church, from the community, and lifelong friends from back home, thanks for being who you are and shaping my life in a positive manner. Professional acquaintances, all who couldn't be here with us today due to COVID-19 travel restrictions, I thank you for affecting and shaping me professionally and as a man and as an officer. To fellow squadron commanders who made the trip, to Tommy and Danielle, thanks for being here. And to all other 3 ASOG and 93rd AGAL squadron commanders, you helped make my command tour special, so thank you. Captain Burns and the change of command team, Sergeant Rivera, Sergeant Regan, Sergeant Jackson, and Ricky Heath, your ability to plan for multiple changes of command while knocking this one out of the park, well done, and thank you. And for Chaplain White, thanks for being here today and sharing those words from on high. To the 7th ASOS support personnel, while Ops puts down bad guys, you make it all possible. Thank you every single day for what you do. To my amazing CSS, no other section in the unit knows me the way you do. Thank you for always providing me and the unit the vital admin support we all need to do our jobs. I will miss you each very much. Major General Matlock, the 1st Armored Division Commanding General, and Colonel Collins, the Divardi Commander. If you're watching, thank you for the joint partnership and being willing to learn more completely the awesomeness of air power. 2 7th ASOS Hustlers I have not been able to thank personally. Chief Kapner and Senior Campbell. 2 of the most amazing senior enlisted advisors a commander could want. You never failed with your advice and helped me to keep my cool as a commander, so I thank you. To our previous wing commander, Colonel Birch, and our current wing commander, Colonel Willis, thanks for trusting me enough to lead and protect the wing's western flank, and for giving me the room to lead with my heart and sometimes with my head. Colonel Drouillard, a most special thanks for the mentoring, the supervision, the long talks, and patience to allow me to make mistakes, make plans, and love my airmen in the way that continue to improve this awesome squadron. Best of luck to you, Katina, and your family on your next adventure, and thanks for traveling during these uncertain and trying times. It means more to me, sir, than you'll ever know. And lastly, my biggest thanks to the marvelous men and women of the 7th ASOS. Each of you gave your all, and I hope you know how much of an absolute honor and a privilege it was to lead you as Hustler 6. As I expressed to you on Monday, may you forever personify the concept of Hustler 3H, not only in your professional lives, but also more importantly in your personal lives, as that is where we all can make a big difference. I love Hustler Nation, the 7th ASOS, and the people who make this team such an amazing unit and be a part of. Thank you. My greatest hope is that each of us continue to embody the real meaning of our squadron motto, Hustler 3H. Honest. Simply be honest in all you do and say. It's the bedrock of being the men and women our nation hopes and think we already are. Helpful. Help your teammate, your supervisor, your friend, your family, but surprise somebody and help a stranger. Humility. Always show humility when you're tempted to show arrogance. And to the future. 7th ASOS, you're in the right hands with Lt Col Matt and Melissa to carry on the tradition of Hustler 6 command families. During the opening moments of our handover, Wong told me that his excitement to command stemmed from his love for our most precious asset in the Air Force, our people. At that moment, I knew I'd be handing over the reins of this unit to the most fitting replacement a commander could ever wish for. Wong, you know what to do. Lead with your heart, take care of the Hustler family, and they will continue to impress and amaze with what they will accomplish. Thank you all again for being here, for making a difference in my life and my family's life, for what you have done by either serving or loving, supporting someone who devotes their life to our country. God bless each of you within the sound of my voice, the men and women of the 7th ASOS and this nation. Thank you.
Thank you, Lieutenant Colonel Walker. Lieutenant Colonel Walker will now present his wife, Yasmin Walker, with the commission of the Yellow Rose of Texas. The Yellow Rose of Texas is an honorary commission conferred by the Governor of Texas to Texas women for exceptional community service. The award reads, "To all to whom these presents shall come, greetings. Know ye that Yasmin Walker is hereby commissioned a Yellow Rose of Texas under the laws of the state of Texas with all rights, privileges, and emoluments appertaining to said office. In testimony whereof, I have signed my name and caused the seal of the state of Texas to be affixed at the city of Austin this 8th day of June, 2020. Signed by Greg Abbott, Governor of Texas." In keeping with military tradition, members of the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron would like to bid farewell to Lieutenant Colonel Walker with his last salute. Please stand for the official change of command ceremony. Attention to orders. Department of the Air Force, Headquarters, United States Air Force, Washington, D.C., Special Order Number G20017, dated 28 May 2020, under the provisions of Air Force Instruction 51604, and effective 26 June 2020. Lieutenant Colonel Nicholas Walker relinquishes command, 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, Fort Bliss, Army Installation, Texas. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Matt assumes command of the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, Fort Bliss, Army Installation, Texas, by order of the commander, Colonel Charles Juilliard. Please be seated. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my privilege to introduce the commander, 7th Air Support Operations Squadron, Lieutenant Colonel Michael Matt.
First off, I'd like to start by saying thank you. I'd like to say thank you to those who made the trip, Colonel Juilliard, Colonel Keeley, Danielle, thank you for taking the time to come out here. It means a lot to me, it means a lot to my family, and to travel in these uncertain times. I'd also like to say thank you to everybody who's watching online in order for me to share this special occasion with you. I'd like to thank my wife and Gracie. You are my support, and I know that you're going to be my teammate going forward, and no matter what we do, as long as you have my back, we're going to survive, and we're going to do just fine. To my family watching online, I understand why you couldn't be here. I don't hold it against you. I still love you, and I appreciate your support going forward. To the rest of the leadership watching from 3rd ASOG and beyond, thank you for your attendance virtually. And lastly, I'd like to thank the hustlers preemptively, because I know that with you behind me, this is going to be a challenging, rewarding, but successful command. To my hustlers, I'd like to start by saying that Airman Basic Mike Matt would not have guessed in a million years that I'd be standing in this position. And it's an honor. I'm grateful to be here. My heart is filled with joy, but I'm also filled with a sense of purpose. Something that Glock had alluded to is that I really do care about taking care of airmen, and I'm going to do that for you guys. My purpose, as I see it, is quite simple. It's to prepare you guys for combat, to get you ready to go and fight wherever the fight may take you, in any environment, in any condition, with any kind of unit, whether that's armored or whether you find yourself in a mech fight or supporting an ODA, whatever that is. I expect that I'm going to be the guy that's going to get you prepared to get you home safely to your families. And I take that charge seriously, and I take that purpose with my full heart, and I embrace it, and we're going to do what it takes in order to make that happen. In order for you to do this, I know that you have to have in your heart of hearts a sense of peace and comfort that your family is going to be taken care of. So I promise to as well take care of you and your family so that you can focus on the mission as you need to. This applies to all my hustlers, whether they're civilians, whether they're my support, whether they're my ops personnel, or whether they're our extended teammates for the Army personnel and whoever else that we have to work with in Holloman Air Force Base. I'm here for the same purpose as you are, and that is to integrate firepower and kill the enemy, to do our country's work, and in order to get you home safely. So how are we going to do that? How do I enable you to do this successfully? I have it broken down in just a couple simple steps. One is we're going to set high personal standards, and we're going to hold ourselves accountable to them. You already do have a high personal standard set by Col Walker. Thank you for that. I intend to continue holding you accountable to these harsh standards, and I hope that you hold yourselves accountable to these standards. We're going to relentlessly maintain them, never going to acquiesce, and in order to do this, and if we do this, we will be an elite organization, and that's what's going to set us apart. That's what sets TACP apart from the majority of the other career fields of the Air Force. And we're going to invest, and when I mean invest, I mean we're going to invest in ourselves, we're going to invest in our teammates, we're going to invest in our airmen, our families, and the mission. And when I say invest, I want to be specific. That means using your most precious resource, which is your time. Not that I expect you to be at work for 12 hours a day. What I mean is that when you're here, you have purposeful, deliberate work that is going to further you in some way or further your relationship with your family, your spouse, your kids, your teammates. I want you to invest time, because the only thing that people understand, the only thing that people care about is that you take the time when they need it and you invest in them. You take your most precious resource and you apply that to somebody, they know that they're truly cared for. So I'm asking you to invest in yourselves and invest in each other. And if you do that, this squadron will grow and it will thrive and it will continue to be the squadron that it was under Col Walker. And lastly is be the example of professionalism. Be the standard that everybody else is measured against. I want the 7th, I want the hustlers to be the squadron that everybody else looks at and says that that's the guys that got it right. We need to aspire to be like them. General Patton has said you're always on parade, and that means that somebody is always watching, and that is true. So how you carry yourselves on and off duty, your professionalism, your character, somebody's always paying attention to that. So please be mindful of that as we go forward and set the right example, because you don't know what junior airman is watching the NCOs. You don't know what NCOs are watching the officers. They're going to take your example. Civilians are watching everybody in the military. They're going to follow your lead. They're going to follow the example that you set. So please take this seriously and be the example of professionalism to others. Know your jobs. That's implicit. You have to know your jobs inside and out. Keep a cool head, because the nature of what we do is going to require that of you. And lastly, be humble. Know that what you do is important, and know that you're good at your job, but there's no reason to boast for it, right? We'll set that example, we'll live it, and there'll be no need to brag about it. If you do these things for me, and I promise that I'll do the same for you. I will invest in you, I will take this squadron, I'll cradle it in my heart, and we'll press forward. The families and leadership above me who's entrusted me with this command opportunity and the support that I know that I'm going to get, thank you. I'd like to say one more time, thank you to Col Walker for handing me this squadron in such great condition. And I look forward to working with all the hustlers in the future to see where we can end up with this squadron and how lethal we can end up becoming. Thank you.
Thank you, Col Matt. Col Matt will now present his wife and family with gifts. In keeping with military tradition, members of the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron would like to welcome Lt Col Matt with his first salute. stand for the playing of the Air Force song and the departure of the official party. This concludes today's ceremony. The men and women of the 7th Air Support Operations Squadron would like to congratulate Lt Col Matt and his family. Thank you all for showing your support during today's ceremony.